Well, guys, if you were disappointed with the post-credit scene to Hawkeye, it looks like we could have actually had one that maybe had more implications on what comes next. Now, of course, we ended up getting the musical as it was. I know some people literally are saying that it's the best post-credit scene ever. Other people like me, not so much. But hey, let's talk about what could have been and maybe what it would have meant for the future. So this news comes at us from the Cosmic Circus, and they are the ones that I believe had the exclusive scoop on this. I could be wrong. Whether you trust them or not, that's up to you. I have talked about it before, how they have dropped scoops and info, and then it was debunked by sometimes the people literally working on the project, like James Gunn. But they have the inside, apparently, on what the post-credit scene was, and it would have included Clint sending Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, the Sword of the Ronin. And this was accompanied with a message that's obviously a threat, but also stay away from my family because I know how to get a hold of you, and the Ronin isn't necessarily dead because the sword is still out there. So, okay. It's definitely interesting because I think one would assume that this isn't over between Clint, Kingpin, Maya, Matt Murdock, whoever else they're going to bring in here, more of the, the tracksuit mafia. But to me, this seems like a scene that kind of just doesn't do anything for me personally. Like, yes, he sends him a threat. Okay. Don't come after me. Okay. But, like, why? Kingpin isn't going to show up next fighting Clint. He's going to go against Maya. He's going to go against Murdock. Like, it just kind of seems like a dead-end scene. If this is, in fact, a true post-credit scene, I could see why you would want to cut this, because this is kind of honestly pointless. Like, we're just going to get back to the same exact song and dance we just did. Clint could have easily gotten a hold of Wilson Fisk and ended him. So, yeah, I kind of get why this was cut. If this is true, it does seem like I don't know how to describe this. It seems like almost fanboy writing to a degree. Like, this is what somebody would write in their head, being like, this is what I want it to be because it sets up what I want. Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? It's kind of like Mark booking for wrestling. I think I could book a proper AEW Dynamite. And then I write it down. I'm like, oh boy, this is the Markish thing ever. Who would ever want to book the Acclaimed versus the Best Friends? I mean, I am, because I like those teams, but why? This makes no sense. This is what this seems like to me. Does that make sense? It seems like a fan writing what they hope happens next. We've seen this many a times with scoopers. Essentially, remember when everybody was saying, every scooper was like, guess what? The ending of Far From Home, we know what it is. He's back in New York from his field trip, and he looks up, and Avengers Tower's now Oscorp. They shot it. We know it happened. It didn't. They never did. They confirmed they never did. They never even considered Osborn for the MCU. So, this is what that kind of seems like. It seems like fanboy, wishful thinking and writing.